Hey guys, what's up? Squire G here. So the other day, I was just about to use the restroom, and I'm just sitting down, and I noticed that some inconsiderate idiot didn't put the seat down before they left, and I fell in. Okay? And that was pissed me off pretty bad. But luckily for them, they flushed the toilet. Because if I had fallen in dirty water, I would have been pissed. But, they didn't. So it's good. I guess. Not really, but, the past, whatever. Anyway, it reminded me of an incident that happened not too long ago. It was at college towards the end of the semester, and it was International Fair Week, or whatever they call it. I think they call it something else, but, whatever. Internationality. I find the whole thing stupid and boring, but they do it anyway. If they want to waste their money, it's their money. Okay, fine. But just imagine a long, dark hall lined with sad excuses for student organizations, where everyone who's running these tables has this dead look in their eye. They just want to go home. This isn't very much fun. At first they were enjoying it, but now there's nobody here, and they have to sit here for hours. So they're really tired. And this festival is boring as crap, okay? They have two things going for it. Free stuff and free food. And the free stuff isn't really worth it. The only good thing you could possibly get from it is like a t-shirt, okay? So, the free stuff, total crap. So everybody shows up for the free food, which makes perfect sense, of course. Free food is free food. Any college student will tell you that you just do not simply pass up on free food. It's like sacrilegious if you do. So, I'm there during this festival, and I finish my classes for the day. And I'm hanging out with some friends, and suddenly I feel the urge that I have to go. So, I run to the restroom. The men's restroom, that is. Just let me clarify. We do not have this open restroom policy at my college. Thank the good Lord. I just felt I should clarify that, with this Target thing going on, that's insanity. But we don't have it. So I'm going to the men's restroom. And I get there, and I head straight for the handicap stall. I don't know about any of you, but I hate using the other stalls. I just don't feel you have enough room to spread out and really let loose, if you get my drift. Anywho, I get to the handicap stall, and I'm just about to sit down when I see something sitting in the bottom of the bowl. I'm freaking out. I'm like, holy crap, what is that? Why would somebody leave this here? That's horrible. Why didn't they, take care of this? That's nasty. Oh, whatever, And, I would leave well enough alone and use the other stall, but it was already taken. So, the closest stall to me was in use, and the next closest was like 5 minutes away. Okay, more like 3, but I had to go, Well, not that bad. I think I really just needed to pee, but I felt like I might have to poop too, and why push it? So finally I decided to just try to flush it, whatever it was. So I flush the toilet once, the water rises, but it looks like it's going down. So I'm like, oh good, so there's hope. So I flush it a second time. The water rises a few more inches, but it still seems to be going down. So, third time's the charm, right? I flush it again, and the water rises up to the edge of the bowl, and it overflows. But just a little. So, of course, when I see it overflowing, I step back just in case there's more to come. Now, the thing is, These toilets are automatic. So when I moved back, the motion set it off for a fourth time. And after that, all hell just broke loose. There's no better way to describe that crap. There was water spreading all over the floor, and the guy in the stall next to me, he noticed it too, and he was like, "What the heck?" And I was thinking, I'd better get out of here. So when I left the stall, it activated the toilet again for a fifth time, which surprised me because I didn't think it could be triggered so soon after the last use, but it did. And after it was triggered, it sent a flood of water over the other guy's shoes, and that triggered him. And he was not happy. He was like, "What the fudge nuggets, man?" And I was like, "I'm not getting blamed for this. This is my cue to leave." So, as I'm making my getaway, I was stopped by a friend who had just entered the restroom, and he had heard everything. So, he asked me what was going on, and I told him I made the toilet overflow. He was like, "Oh." And I said, "Yeah, I know." And I was out of there. So I ended up hiding in a room that most people never visited, except for a few, which included me and my friend. So a few minutes passed, and he comes walking in. He has this knowing grin on his face, and he tells me, "That was Professor X." Now, one thing you need to know about Professor X is that he was one of my professors at the time. So it's like freaking out on the inside, and I nearly crapped my pants. Considering I hadn't actually went yet, that's not really surprising. But, yeah. I was afraid just how upset he might be. Would he hate me for the rest of my life? Would this unfortunate incident affect my grade? I mean, that was the most important question. Who knew? I did find out later that evening that he was pretty pissed. I ended up talking to an administrator who was running the international festival that night about it, and she told me that would explain why Professor X was acting so odd. After 3 times around, she asked him to stop eating the free food. Which, I mean, there you go, guys. Free food. Free food is enough to make even the angriest person stop, you know. But apparently he took some money out of his wallet, threw it on the table, and said, "There, that should cover the cost." And he stormed out of the building. So at that point, I knew if he recognized me in the bathroom, I would probably be screwed. So for the remainder of the semester, I had that guilt and fear in the back of my mind. I wanted to confess. I really did. You know, I wanted to confess that I was the one who did it. You know, ask for his mercy. But if he didn't know who had ruined his shoes, I was not going to be the one to tell him. So finally the semester ends, and thank God my grades seem to be where they should be. Professor X treated me like nothing had happened. You know, nothing had changed. So a few semesters later, I finally confessed. I told him that I was the one responsible, and he laughed it off and told me he thought it was funny. So to this day, he hasn't treated me any differently. So the lesson that you should take from this story is if you see a monster in your toilet, call a janitor or a plumber. And if you want a moral to this story, the best thing I can come up with is don't let the crap in your life overflow onto other people's shoes. They won't appreciate it. That's all I have for today, guys. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe for more. Till next time, I'll see you guys later.